So another thing about me is I'm autistic, and I didn't know that either at this time. And that's another reason I feel really strongly about this, is because I do feel like there's a trend where there's a lot of autistic girls, particularly who are very get sucked into this. And as an autistic girl myself, that's sad to me because it's hard for me to not feel like this is a eugenics on gay kids and autistic kids. It's hard to not see that.
You're right. A lot of us see that, even including me. Because why are all these new trans kids, all of them have autism?
Every single girl I have ever met who identifies as, usually it's non-binary, but almost every single girl I've ever met is autistic who identifies that way in real life.
So every girl that you were around who identified as non-binary was autistic?
Almost everyone I've met, yeah.
I mean, this is just profound.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of anecdotal, but that's just my experience. So I can
but this is all about your experience. It's not about what you see out there or over there. This is literally about your experience, and that's why my mouth drops, because that's statistically impossible on some level.
Actually, no, I don't remember where I read this, but I would, if I could find the article, maybe I'll
please do.
But that gender non-conforming teens or gender non-conforming people are 6 times more likely to be autistic or gay.
But why is
6 times more likely to be autistic? I don't remember. I have to find the article, but I
really want to see that. I guess I
would say, from my own experience, autistic people generally feel disconnected from their bodies.
Right.
And also we are vulnerable because we're often isolated and alone, which I definitely experienced growing up. And so I do think that makes us more vulnerable. We also have autistic people tend to also have very strong sense of justice and black and white thinking.
Eu falei para vocês que o movimento eugenista a priori ganhou grande importância nos Estados Unidos. Ele ficou bem arraigado lá nos Estados Unidos. Relembrando que os Estados Unidos, naquele momento, ele vivia uma grande migração, tanto de povos de outros países, de outros ambientes, como também os camponeses. Eles estavam imigrando para os centros urbanos. E com isso acontecia um grande desenvolvimento, então, da pobreza, da violência, da criminalidade. Então, eles queriam, de fato, eliminar aquelas estirpes, aquelas descendências dos não aptos, e então estimular a reprodução daqueles mais aptos. Para vocês terem uma ideia do que os Estados Unidos eles estavam vivendo na época, eu vou ler aqui uma frase de um grande geneticista, que é o Theodore Dobzhansky, tá? Que ficou com uma frase muito famosa aí, que nada em biologia faz sentido, senão à luz da evolução. Ele também falou uma outra frase que é eugenista, tá? Falava assim: se permitirmos que os fracos e os deformados vivam e propagam sua estirpe, nós defrontaremos com a perspectiva de um crepúsculo genético. Mas se deixarmos que morram ou sofram, quando podemos salvá-los ou ajudá-los, nos defrontaremos com a certeza de um crepúsculo moral. Então, gente, eles achavam que estavam fazendo realmente uma coisa boa. Se aqueles fracos, se aqueles que eram deficientes mentais, deficientes físicos, que não tinham tanto dinheiro, eles iam acabar sendo excluídos por conta da seleção natural e acabar sofrendo, sendo mortos e passando fome. Então, dessa forma, ao invés de deixar que eles nascessem para esse fim, já esterilizava os pais dele, que daqui a 2 ou 3 gerações não existia mais essa população no mundo. E daí então veio a primeira lei de esterilização nos Estados Unidos, né, da esterilização por conta da eugenia nos Estados Unidos. Foi mais ou menos na década de 1920, com um caso que ficou conhecido como Emma e Bell.
Eugenicists wanted to prevent those with undesirable traits from having kids. In many states, laws were passed to enable forced sterilization of people who failed to meet a certain threshold on an IQ test. The constitutionality of these laws was upheld by the Supreme Court in 1927.
Even words that we now use as insults, moron, idiot, imbecile, were used as scientific terms.
In his judgment, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote, "It is better for all the world if instead of waiting to execute degenerate offspring for crime, or to let them starve for their imbecility, society can prevent those who are manifestly unfit from continuing their kind. 3 generations of imbeciles are enough." In total, over 60,000 people were forcibly sterilized as a result of these laws. In fact, they served as a model for Nazi Germany. Hitler himself claimed to be inspired by American eugenicists.
These have been used for horrific things in the past.
At the Nuremberg trials after the war, some Nazis quoted from the American Supreme Court decision.
But honestly, you know, where I really feel like something needs to be done is this thing with the transgender children, because this is child abuse, and I don't really know what to do, since apparently talking about that is considered, you know, like the equivalent of, you know, being like a Nazi or something. But it's actually the opposite, because sterilizing people against their will is exactly what the Nazis did. And children don't have a free will. They don't understand anything. You know, if you tell children that Santa Claus is real, they believe that. If you tell them they can change their sex, they believe that. And, you know, I saw a thing online that said, you know, a transgender 4-year-old is like a vegan cat. You know who's calling the shots or something like that. And that's completely accurate. And as a parent now, I feel so protective of these kids. And